Hello, StreamYard, YouTube. I am coming back to read the next 10 chapters of the book of Joshua. And again, I'm not upset, but I am in a season of standing up for myself and not allowing anyone to lie on Almighty God. So, what's been going on in the streets today? The demon jumped up and said, "Close that Bible." God never said close the Bible. He never said that. And another demon says, "No one's coming to watch your affirmations." I thought about it. If it's an affirmation, I guess that's a good thing. I shouldn't reject it. But I'm not affirming anything. I am reading. Once again, a PhD from Florida does not like to read books. He likes to read people, and he likes to work for Satan. Satan comes to steal our joy. So I am very stressed, and I apologize for my stress, and I know it shows on me. I am in a land where I hate it here, and I'm so sick here, but I am fighting Nebuchadnezzar's statue here. That's why I'm judges and politicians. The state of Oklahoma is KKK. It's KKK. And because I'm not the only one whose children have been taken, and I mean taken, and even had the mother killed. So that's, if you know Nebuchadnezzar's statue, that's the head. And then the next is the thugs, the murderers that walk amongst us. My grandbaby's mama was killed matricide, and I know that in my heart, in my soul. And then the next layer of Nebuchadnezzar's statue is this bum bitch energy that I thought I had escaped. And here I am right back into it because someone decided to be a swindler on a prayer cloth. I'm not going to let that go. God's not going to let that go. And he can say he's an entertainer all he wants. Some things are not for entertainment, not to be played with. I think there's a correlation between Vivian and his mama. And I think Vivian's probably a hermaphrodite. Not that that's a bad thing. She's a bad hermaphrodite. But I don't want to be talking about them. I want to be talking about the dog-headed judge that I want put underneath the jail along with her gang of thug CPS workers. Woo! So, getting into the word, hello, one person. I am going to go ahead. Joshua chapter 11, defeating northern kings. Jabin, king of Hazor, heard about all that had happened. He sent messages to Jabab, king of Madon, to the king of Shimron, and to the king of Akshaph. He sent one to the kings in the northern mountains. Jabin also sent a message to the kings in the Jordan Valley, south of Lake Galilee, and in the western mountain slopes. He sent a message to the king of Nephath Dor in the west. Jabin also sent one to the kings of the Canaanites in the east and in the west. He sent messages to the Amorites, Hittites, Pezerites, and Jebusites in the mountains. Jabin also sent one to the Hivites. They lived below Mount Hermon in the area of Mizpah. So The armies of all these kings came together. There were many fighting men, horses, and chariots. It was a huge army. It looked like there were as many men as grains of sand on the seashore. All of these kings met together at the waters of Merom. They joined their armies together into one camp. They made plans to fight against the Israelites. Then the Lord said to Joshua, "Don't be afraid of them. At this time tomorrow, I will allow you to defeat them. You will kill all of them. You will cripple their horses and burn all their chariots." So Joshua and his whole army surprised the enemy. They attacked them at the waters of Merom. The Lord allowed Israel to defeat them. They chased them to Greater Sidon, Misrephoth Maim, and the valley of Mizpah in the east. Israel fought until none of the enemy was left alive. Joshua did what the Lord said to do. He cut the legs of their horses and burned their chariots. Then Joshua went back and captured the city of Hazor. He killed the king of Hazor. Hazor had been the leader of all the kingdoms that fought against Israel. Israel killed everyone in Hazor. They completely destroyed them. There was nothing left alive. Then they burned Hazor itself. Joshua captured all of these cities. He killed all of their kings. He completely destroyed everything in these cities. He did this the way Moses, the servant of the Lord, had commanded. But the Israelites did not burn any cities that were built on their hills, except Hazor. That city alone was burned by Joshua. The people of Israel kept for themselves everything they found in the cities. They kept all the animals they found, but they killed all the people there. They did not leave anyone alive. Long ago, the Lord had commanded his servant Moses to do this. Then Moses had commanded Joshua to do it. So Joshua obeyed God. He did everything the Lord had commanded Moses. So Joshua defeated all the people in the land. He had control of the mountains and the area of southern Canaan. He controlled all the areas of Goshen, the western mountain slopes, and the Jordan Valley. He controlled the mountains of Israel and all the hills near them. Joshua controlled all the land from Mount Halak near Edom to Baal Gad. Baal Gad was in the valley of Lebanon, below Mount Hermon. Joshua captured all the kings in the land and killed them. He fought against them for many years. The people of only one city in all the land had made a peace agreement with Israel. They were the Hivites living in Gibeon. All the other cities were defeated in war. The Lord made those people stubborn so they would fight against Israel. This way, he could completely destroy them without mercy. This is what the Lord had commanded Moses to do. Now Joshua fought the Anakites who lived in the mountains of Hebron, Debir, Anab, Judah, and Israel, and he completely destroyed them and their towns. There were no Anakites left living in the land of the Israelites. Only a few Anakites were left in Gaza, Gath, and Ashdod. Joshua took control of all the land of Israel. This was what the Lord had told Moses to do long ago. He gave the land to Israel because he had promised it to them. Then Joshua divided the land among the tribes of Israel. The fighting had finally ended, and there was peace in the land. Joshua chapter 12, kings defeated by Israel. Bring that thing up. The Israelites took control of the land east of the Jordan River. They now had all the land from the Arnon ravine to Mount Hermon, and they had all the land along the eastern side of the Jordan Valley. Here are all the kings the Israelites defeated to take this land. Sihon was the king of the Amorites. He lived in the city of Heshbon. He ruled the land from Aroer at the Arnon ravine to the Jabbok River. His land started in the middle of the ravine. This was their border with the Ammonites. Sihon ruled over half the land of Gilead. He also ruled over the eastern side of the Jordan Valley from Lake Galilee to the Dead Sea. And he ruled from Beth Jeshimoth, south of the hills of Pisgah. Og, king of Bashan, was one of the last of the Rephaites. He ruled the land in Ashtaroth and Edrei. He ruled over Mount Hermon, Selikah, and all the area of Bashan. His land ended where the people of Geshur and Makkah lived. Og also ruled half the land of Gilead. It stopped at the border of Sihon, king of Heshbon. The Lord's servant Moses and the Israelites defeated all these kings. And Moses gave that land to the tribes of Reuben and Gad and to the eastern half tribe of Manasseh. This land was to be their own. The Israelites also defeated kings in the land that was west of the Jordan River. Joshua led the people in this land. He gave the people this land and divided it among the 12 tribes. This was the land that was promised to them. It was between Baal Gad in the valley of Lebanon and Mount Halak near Edom. This included the mountains, the western mountain slopes, and the Jordan Valley. It also included the eastern mountain slopes, the desert, and southern Canaan. This was the land where the Hittites, Amorites, Canaanites, Perizzites, Hivites, and Jebusites had lived. The people of Israel defeated the king of each of the following cities: Jericho, Ai near Bethel, Jerusalem, Hebron, Jarmuth, Lachish, Eglon, Gezer, Debir, Geder, Hormah, Arad, Libnah, Adullam, Makeda, Bethel, Tapua, Hephar, Aphek, Lasharon, Madon, Hazor, Shimron Meron, Akshaph, Tanakh, Megiddo, Kadesh, Jokneam in Carmel, Dor in Nephoth Dor, Goyim in Gilgal, and Tirzah. The total number of kings was 31. Joshua chapter 13, land still to be taken. When Joshua was very old, the Lord spoke to him. He said, Joshua, you have grown old, but there is still much land for you to take. You have not yet taken the land of Geshur and the land of the Philistines. You have not yet taken the area from the Shihor River at the border of Egypt to Ekron in the north. That belongs to the Canaanites. You must still defeat the 5 Philistine leaders. They are at Gaza, Ashdod, Ashkelon, Gath, and Ekron. You must also defeat the Avites. They live south of the Canaanite land. You have not yet defeated the Gebalites. And there is also the area of Lebanon east of Baal Gad, below Mount Hermon to Lebo Hamath. The Sidonians are living in the hill country from Lebanon to Misrophoth Maim. But I will force out all of them ahead of the Israelites. Be sure to remember this land when you divide the land among the Israelites. Do this as I told you. Now divide the land among the 9 tribes and the western half tribe of Manasseh. Dividing the land, Joshua chapter 13, verse 8. The eastern half tribe of Manasseh and the tribes of Reuben and Gad had received their land. The Lord's servant Moses gave them the land east of the Jordan River. Their land started at Aroer at the Arnon ravine. It continued to the town in the middle of the ravine, and it included the whole plain from Medeba to Dibon. All the towns that Sihon, king of the Amorites, ruled were in that land. He ruled in the city of Heshbon. The land continued to the area where the Ammonites lived. Gilead was also there, and the area where the people of Geshur and Makkah lived was in that land. All of Mount Hermon and all of Bashan as far as Selakah was included. All the kingdom of Og, king of Bashan, was in the land. In the past, he ruled in Ashtaroth and Edrei. Og was one of the last of the Rephaites. In the past, Moses had defeated them and had taken their land. The Israelites did not force out the people of Geshur and Maacah. They still live there. They still live among the Israelites today. The tribe of Levi was the only one that did not get any land. Instead, they were to be given all the burnt sacrifices made to the Lord, the God of Israel. That is what the Lord had promised them. Moses had given each family group from the tribe of Reuben some land. This is the land they were given. It was the land from Aroer near the Arnon ravine to the town of Medeba. This included the whole plain and the town in the middle of the ravine. The land continued to Heshbon. It included all the towns on the plain. These towns were Dibon, Bamath Baal, and Beth Baal Meon. They included Jahaz, Kedemoth, Mephaath, Kiriathaim, Sibmah, and Zereth Shahar on the hill in the valley. They also included Beth Peor, the hills of Pisgah, and Beth Jeshimoth. So that land included all the towns on the plain and all the area that Sihon, the king of the Amorites, had ruled. He ruled from the town of Heshbon. But Moses had defeated him and the leaders of the Midianites. Those leaders included Evi, Rechem, Zur, Hur, and Reba. All these leaders fought together with Sihon, and they lived in that country. The Israelites killed many people during the fighting. They also killed Balaam of Beor. He tried to use magic to tell the future. The land given to Reuben stopped at the shore of the Jordan River. So the land given to the family groups of Reuben included all these towns and their fields that were listed. This is the land Moses gave to the tribe of Gad. He gave it to all the family groups. He gave them the land of Jazer and all the towns of Gilead. He also gave them half the land of the Ammonites. It went as far as Aroer near Rabbah. It included the area from Heshbon to Ramath Mizpah and Betonim. It included the area from Mahanaim to the land of Debir. The land included the valley, Beth Haram, Beth Nimrah, Succoth, and Zephon. All the other land Sihon, king of Heshbon, had ruled was also included in it. This is the land on the east side of the Jordan River. It continued to the end of Lake Galilee, and this is the land Moses gave to the tribe of Gad. It included all the towns that were listed. Moses gave it to all the family groups. This is the land Moses had given to the eastern half-tribe of Manasseh. Half of all the family groups in the tribe of Manasseh were given this land. The land started at Mahanaim. It included all of Bashan and the land ruled by Og, king of Bashan. It also included all the towns of Jair in Bashan. There were 60 cities in all. It also included half of Gilead, Ashtaroth, and Edrei. These were the cities where Og, king of Bashan, had ruled. All this land had been given to the family of Machir, son of Manasseh. Half of all his sons had been given this land. Moses had given this land to these tribes on the plains of Moab. It was across the Jordan River east of Jericho. But Moses had given no land to the tribe of Levi. The Lord, the God of Israel, promised that he himself would be the gift for the Levites. Joshua chapter 14. Eleazar the priest, Joshua son of Nun, and the leaders of all the tribes of Israel decided what land to give the people. The Lord had commanded Moses long ago how he wanted the people to choose their land. The people of the 9.5 tribes threw lots to decide which land they would receive. Moses had already given the 2.5 tribes their land east of the Jordan River. But the tribe of Levi was not given any land like the others. The sons of Joseph had divided into 2 tribes, Manasseh and Ephraim. The tribe of Levi was not given any land. It was given only some towns in which to live. It was also given pastures for its animals. The Lord had told Moses how to give the land to the tribes of Israel. The Israelites divided the land as the Lord had commanded. Caleb's land, Joshua chapter 14, verse 6. One day, some men from the tribe of Judah went to Joshua at Gilgal. One of those men was Caleb, son of Jephunneh, the Kenizzite. He said to Joshua, "You remember what the Lord said at Kadesh Barnea? He was speaking to the prophet Moses about you and me. Moses, the Lord's servant, sent me to look at the land where we were going. I was 40 years old then. When I came back, I told Moses what I thought about the land. The other men who went with me told the people things that made them afraid, but I fully believed the Lord would allow us to take the land. So that day Moses promised me, the land where you went will become your land. Your children will own it forever. I will give you that land because you fully believed in the Lord my God. Now then, the Lord has kept his promise. He has kept me alive for 45 years from the time he said this to Moses. During that time, we all wandered in the desert. Now, here I am, 85 years old. I am still as strong today as I was the day Moses sent me out. I am just as ready to fight now as I was then. So give me the mountain country the Lord promised me that day long ago. Back then you heard that the Anakite people lived there, and the cities were large and were protected. But now, with the Lord helping me, I will force them out just as the Lord said. Joshua blessed Caleb, son of Jephunneh. He gave him the city of Hebron as his own. And Hebron still belongs to the family of Caleb, son of Jephunneh the Kenizzite. It still belongs to his people because he had faith. He obeyed the Lord, the God of Israel. In the past, it was called Cre8. It was named for the greatest man among the Anakites. He was named Arba. After this, there was peace in the land. Joshua chapter 15, land for Judah. The land that was given to the tribe of Judah was divided among all the family groups. It went all the way to the desert of Zin in the far south at the border of Edom. The southern border of Judah's land started at the south end of the Dead Sea. It went south of Scorpion Pass to Zin. From there, it passed to the south of Kadesh Barnea. It continued past Hezron to Adar. From Adar, it turned and went to Karka. It continued to Asman, the brook of Egypt, and then to the Mediterranean Sea. This was the southern border. The eastern border was the shore of the Dead Sea. It went as far as the area where the Jordan River flowed into the sea. The northern border started at the area where the Jordan River flowed into the Dead Sea. Then it went to Beth Haglah and continued north of Beth Arabah. It continued to the stone of Bohan. Bohan was the son of Reuben. Then the northern border went through the valley of Ashur to Debir. There it turned toward the north and went to Gilgal. Gilgal is across from the road that goes through the mountain of Adumim. It is on the south side of the ravine. The border continued along the waters of En Shemesh. It stopped at En Rogel. Then it went through the valley of Ben Hinnom. This is next to the southern side of the Jebusite city. That city was called Jerusalem. There, the border went to the top of the hill on the west side of Hinnom Valley. This was at the northern end of the Valley of Giants. From there, it went to the spring of the waters of Nephtoah. Then it went to the cities near Mount Ephron. There it turned and went toward Baalah. Baalah is also called Kiriath Jearim. At Baalah, the border turned west and went toward Mount Edom. It continued along the north side of Mount Jearim, also called Kesalon, and came to Beth Shemeth. From there it went past Timnah. Then it went to the hill north of Ekron. From there, it turned toward Shikharon and went past Mount Baalah. It continued on to Jabneel and ended at the sea. The Mediterranean Sea was the western border. Inside these borders lived the family groups of Judah. The Lord had commanded Joshua to give Caleb, son of Jephunneh, part of the land in Judah. So he gave Caleb the land God had commanded. He gave him the town of Kiriath Arba, also called Hebron. Arba was the father of Anak. Caleb forced out the 3 Anakite families living in Hebron. Those families were Sheshai, Ahiman, and Talmai. They were descendants of Anak. Then he fought against the people living in Debir. In the past, Debir had been called Kiriath Sefer. Caleb said, I want a man to attack and capture Kiriath Sefer. I will give him Aksa, my daughter, as a wife. Othniel, son of Kenaz, defeated the city. So Caleb gave his daughter Aksa to Othniel to be his wife. Aksa wanted Othniel to ask her father Caleb for more land. So Aksa went to her father. When she got off her donkey, Caleb asked her, What do you want? Aksa answered, I would like a special favor. The land you gave me is very dry, so also give me land with springs of water on it. So Caleb gave her land with springs of water on the upper and lower part of it. The tribe of Judah got the land God had promised them. Each family group got part of the land. The tribe of Judah got all the towns in the southern part of Canaan. These towns were near the border of Edom. Here is a list of the towns: Kabzeel, Eder, Jagur, Kina, Dimunah, Adadah, Kadesh, Hazor, and Ithnan, Zeph, Telim, Bealot, Hazor, Hadath, and Kiriath Hezron, also called Hazor. Aman, Shema, Moladah, Hazar-Gadah, Heshmon, and Beth Pelet, Hazar Shual, Beersheba, Biziothai, Beala, Lim, Ezim, Eltolad, Kesil and Hormah, Ziklag, Madmana, Sansana, Labaoth, Shilhim, Ain, and Rimmon. There were 29 towns and all their fields. The tribe of Judah got these towns in the western mountain slopes: Eshtayal, Zorah, Ashna, Zanoah, En-Ganim, Tapua, and Enam, Jarmuth, Adulam, Succoth, Azekah, Shayaraim, Adithiam, and Gederah, also called Gederothiam. There were 14 towns and all their fields. Judah was also given these towns in the western mountain slopes: Zenan, Hadashah, Migdal, Gad, Dilian, Mizpah, Joktheel, Lachish, Bozkath, and Eglon, Kaban, Lamas, Kilish, Girderoth, Beth Dagon, Naamah, and Makeda. There were 16 towns and all their fields. Judah was also given these towns in the western mountain slopes: Libnah, Ether, Ashan, Ithah, Ashna, Nizib, Keilah, Akzib, and Marishah. There were 9 towns and all their fields. The tribe of Judah also got the town of Ekron and all the small towns and fields near it. They also got the area west of Ekron and all the fields and towns near Ashdod. Ashdod and all the small towns around it were part of the land of Judah. They also got the fields and towns around Gaza. Their land continued to the brook of Egypt, and it went on along the coast of the Mediterranean Sea. The tribe of Judah was also given these towns in the mountains: Shamir, Jatir, Succoth, Dana, and Kiriath Sanah, also called Debir, Anab, Eshtamon, Anim, Goshen, Holon, and Gilo. There were 11 towns and all their fields. They were also given these towns in the mountains: Arab, Dumah, Eshan, Janim, Beth Tapua, and Aphekah. Huntah, Kiriath Arba, also called Hebron, and Zior. There were 9 towns and all their fields. Judah was also given these towns in the mountains: Moan, Carmel, Zeph, Jutah, Jezreel, Jokdeam, Zanoah, Cain, Gibeah, and Timnah. There were 10 towns and all their fields. They were also given these towns in the mountains: Halhol, Beth Zur, Gedor, Mearath, Beth Anath, and Eltekon. There were 6 towns and all their fields. The people of Judah were also given the 2 towns of Rabbah and Kiriath Baal, also called Kiriath Jearim. Judah was given towns in the desert. Here are those towns: Beth Araba, Midden, Sikaka, Nibshan, the city of salt, and En Gedi. There were 6 towns and all their fields. The army of Judah was not able to force out the Jebusites living in Jerusalem, so the Jebusites still live among the people of Judah in Jerusalem to this day. Praise Almighty God. And so I hope this keeps me out of the trash can for now as far as Jay Wilson goes. I don't think he can read. I think that's what he is. I think he's a useful idiot, because he certainly has a talent for reading people and pulling down spirits, which is what I'm trying to get to. I want to use him, and I want to use that kind of energy to pull down white supremacy, because I'm by myself and calling judges and politicians. It's not that I'm proud of myself for being disrespectful to people in authority. It's that if I come up against people in authority who are absolute criminals, then I am not supposed to dumb myself down, and I'm supposed to go forward in the faith. So that is what I am doing. And so let me just do my reaffirmation as to what I'm here for. And then I'll get back into the word. And then I guess that means I'm going to have to do a part 3. But we'll see. Let's see where I stop at here. Needless to say, not everyone is going to like or understand my idea. Unfortunately, there's roughly 650,000 people living in Baltimore. Again, I'm trying to create shareholders. I was trying to do it in Baltimore only, and now I see the Lord says, spread it out all over. And this is his gift. So I am now trying to get back into the word. Thank you, Father God, for this blessing to be able to read the word. Joshua 16, land of Ephraim and Manasseh. This is the land the tribe of Joseph received. It started at the Jordan River near Jericho. It continued to the waters of Jericho just east of the city. The border went up from Jericho to the mountains of Bethel. Then it continued from Bethel, also called Luz, to the Archite border at Ataroth. From there it went west to the border of the Japhlites. It continued to the area of the lower Beth Horon. Then it went to Gezer and ended at the sea. So Manasseh and Ephraim received their land. They were sons of Joseph. This is the land that was given to the family groups of Ephraim. Their border started at Ataroth Adar in the east. It went to upper Beth Horon and then to the sea. From Mikmethath, it turned eastward toward Tayanath Shiloh and continued eastward to Genoa. Then it went down from Genoa to Ataroth and to Nearah. It continued until it touched Jericho and stopped at the Jordan River. The border went from Tapua west to Kana Ravine and went to the sea. This is all the land that was given to the Ephraimites. Each family group in the tribe got a part of this land. Many of the border towns of Ephraim were actually within Manasseh's borders, but the people of Ephraim got those towns and their fields. The Ephraimites could not force the Canaanites to leave Gezer. So the Canaanites still live among the Ephraimites today, but they became slaves of the Ephraimites. Joshua chapter 17. The land was given to the tribe of Manasseh. He was Joseph's first son. Manasseh's first son was Machir, the father of Gilead. Machir was a great soldier. So the lands of Gilead and Bashan were given to his family. Land was also given to the other family groups of Manasseh. They were Abiezer, Helek, Asriel, Shechem, Hefer, and Shemida. These were all the other sons of Manasseh, son of Joseph. Zelophehad was son of Hefer. Hefer was the son of Gilead. Gilead was the son of Machir, and Machir was the son of Manasseh. But Zelophehad had no sons. He had 5 daughters. The daughters were named Mahlah, Noah, Haglah, Milcah, and Tirzah. The daughters went to Eleazar the priest. They also went to Joshua, son of Nun, and all the leaders. They said, "The Lord told Moses to give us land like the men received." So Eleazar obeyed the Lord and gave the daughters some land. These daughters received land just as the brothers of their father did. So the tribe of Manasseh had 10 sections of land west of the Jordan River. They also had 2 more sections, Gilead and Bashan. These sections were on the other side of the Jordan River. The daughters of Manasseh got land just as the sons did. Gilead was given to the rest of the families of Manasseh. The lands of Manasseh were in the area between Ashur and Mikmethath. This is near Shechem. The border went south to the En Tappuah area. The land of Tappuah belonged to Manasseh, but the town of Tappuah did not. It was along the border of Manasseh's land and belonged to the sons of Ephraim. The border of Manasseh continued south to Cana Ravine. The cities in this area of Manasseh belonged to Ephraim. Manasseh's border was on the north side of the ravine and went to the sea. The land to the south belonged to Ephraim, and the land to the north belonged to Manasseh. The Mediterranean Sea was the western border. The border touched Ashur's land on the north, and it touched Issachar's land on the east. In the areas of Issachar and Ashur, the people of Manasseh owned Beth-shan and its small towns. They also owned Ibleam and its small towns. And they owned all the people who lived in Dor and its small towns. They owned the people in Nephoth Dor and its small towns. And they owned all the people who lived in Taanach and its small towns. Manasseh also owned the people in Megiddo and its small towns. Manasseh was not able to defeat those cities, so the Canaanites continued to live there. But the Israelites grew strong. When this happened, they forced the Canaanites to work for them, but they did not force them to leave the land. The people from the tribes of Joseph spoke to Joshua. They said, "You gave us only one area of land, but we are many people. Why did you give us only one part of the land the Lord gave his people?" And Joshua answered, "You have many people. Go up to the forest. Make a place for yourselves to live there. This is in the land of the Pezerites and the Raphaites. The mountain country of Ephraim is too small for you." The people of Joseph said, "It is true, the mountain country of Ephraim is not enough for us, but the land where the Canaanites live is dangerous. They are skilled fighters. They have powerful weapons in Beth-shan and all the small towns in that area, and they are also in the valley of Jezreel." Then Joshua spoke to the people of Joseph, to Ephraim and to Manasseh. He said, "But there are many of you, and you have great power. You should be given more than one share of land. You also will have the mountain country. It is a forest, but you can cut down the trees and make it a good place to live, and you will own all of it. You will force the Canaanites to leave the land. You can defeat them even though they have powerful weapons and are strong." Joshua chapter 18, the rest of the land divided. All of the Israelites gathered together at Shiloh. There they set up the meeting tent. The Israelites controlled that country. They had defeated all the enemies there. But there were still 7 tribes of Israel that had not yet received the land God had promised them. So Joshua said to the Israelites, "Why do you wait so long to take your land? The Lord, the God of your fathers, has given you this land." The Lord, the God of your fathers, has given this land to you. So each tribe should choose 3 men. I will send them out to study the land. They will describe in writing the land their tribe wants as its share. Then they will come back to me. They will divide the land into 7 parts. The people of Judah will keep their land in the south. The people of Joseph will keep their land in the north. But you should divide the land into 7 parts. Describe the 7 parts in writing. Then bring what you have written to me. We will let the Lord our God decide which tribe will get which land. But the Levites do not get any part of these lands. They are priests, and their work is to serve the Lord. Gad, Reuben, and the eastern half tribe of Manasseh have received the land promised to them. They are on the east side of the Jordan River. Moses, the servant of the Lord, gave it to them. So the men who were chosen started into the land. Their plan was to describe it in writing and take it back to Joshua. Joshua told them, "Go and study the land. Describe it in writing. Then come back to me. Then I will ask the Lord to choose the land you should get. We will do this here in Shiloh." So the men left and went into the land. They studied it and described it in writing for Joshua. They studied each town. They saw that the land had 7 parts. They described it in writing and then came back to Joshua. He was still at the camp at Shiloh. Then Joshua asked the Lord to help. He threw lots to choose the lands that should be given to each tribe. Land for Benjamin. Joshua chapter 18, verse 11. The first part of the land was given to the tribe of Benjamin. Each family group in the tribe of Benjamin received some land. They were given the land between the land of Judah and the land of Joseph. This is the land of Benjamin. The northern border started at the Jordan River. It went along the northern edge of Jericho. Then it went west into the mountains. That boundary continued until it was just east of Beth Aven. From there, it went south to Luz, also called Bethel. Then it went down to Atarath Adar. Atarath Adar is on the hill south of Lower Beth Horon. There is a hill to the south of Beth Horon. At this hill, the border turned and went south near the western side of the hill. It went to Kiriath Baal, also called Kiriath Jearim. This is a town where people of Judah lived. It was the western border. The southern border started near Kiriath Jearim and went to the waters of Neptoah. Then it went down to the bottom of the hill. This was near the valley of Ben Hinnom. It was the north side of the valley of Raphaim. The border continued down the Hinnom Valley just south of the Jebusite city to En Rogel. There it turned north and went to En Shemesh. It continued to Gililoth near Adumim Pass in the mountains. Then it went down to the great stone of Bohan. Bohan was the son of Reuben. The border continued to the northern part of Beth Arabah. Then it went down into the Jordan Valley. From there, it went to the northern part of Beth Haglah. It ended at the northern shore. It ended at the north shore of the Dead Sea. This is where the Jordan River flows into the sea. This was the southern border. The Jordan River was the border on the eastern side. So this was the land given to the family groups of Benjamin. These were the borders on all sides. Each family group of Benjamin received some of this land, and these are the cities they owned: Jericho, Beth Haglah, Emet Kaziz, Beth Arabah, Zemaraim and Bethel, Avim, Para, Ophrah, Kephar, Amani, Aknai, and Geba. There were 12 towns and all their villages. The tribe of Benjamin also owned Gibeon, Ramah, and Beeroth. They owned Mizpah, Kathira, Moza, Rakim, Erpiel, and Taralah. They also owned Zela, Hayaleth, the Jebusite city, Jerusalem, Gibeah, and Kiriath. There were 14 towns and all their villages. All these areas are the lands the tribe of Benjamin was given. Joshua chapter 19, land for Simeon. The second part of the land was given to the tribe of Simeon. Each family group received some of the land. It was inside the area of Judah. They received Beersheba, also called Sheba, Moladah, Hazar Shual, Bela, Ezem, El-Tolad, Bethu, and Hormah. They also received Ziklag, Beth Markaboth, Hazar Susa, Beth Leboath, and Sharahin. There were 13 towns and all their fields. They also received the towns of Ain, Rimmon, Ether, and Ashan. There were 4 towns and all their fields. They also received all the very small areas with people living in them as far as Baaleph Beer. This is the same as Ramah in southern Canaan. So these were the lands given to the tribe of Simeon. Each family group received some of the land. The land of the Simeonites was taken from part of the land of Judah. Judah had much more land than they needed, so the Simeonites received part of their land. Land for Zebulun. Joshua chapter 19, verse 10. The third part of the land was given to the tribe of Zebulun. Each family group of Zebulun received some of the land. The border of Zebulun went as far as Sarid. Then it went west to Maralah and came near Dabasheth. Then it went near Jokneam. Then it turned to the east. It went from Sarid to the area of Kithloth Tabor. From there it went on to the Berith and to Japhia. It continued eastward to Gath Hefer and Eth Kazim. Then it ended at Rimmon. Then the border turned and went toward Neah. At Neah, it turned again and went to the north. It went to Hanathon and continued to the valley of Ifta-El. Inside this border were the cities of Katath, Nahala, Shimron, Adalah, and Bethlehem. There were 12 towns and all their fields. So these are the towns and the areas that were given to Zebulun. Each family group received some of the land. Land for Issachar. Joshua chapter 19, verse 17. The fourth part of the land was given to the tribe of Issachar. Each family group of Issachar received some of the land. Their land included Jezreel, Kesaluth, Shunem, Hapharaim, Shion, and Anaharath, Rabith, Kishion, Ebez, Remeth, En-Gamin, En-Haddah, and Beth Pazeh. The border of their land touched the area called Tabor, Shahazumah, and Beth Shemesh. It stopped at the Jordan River. There were 16 towns and their fields. These cities and towns were part of the land that was given to the tribe of Issachar. Each family group received part of this land. Land for Ashur. Joshua chapter 19, verse 24. The fifth part of the land was given to the tribe of Asher. Each family group of Asher received some of the land. Their land included Helkath, Hali, Beten, Akshaph, Alamelech, Amad, and Mishal. The western border touched Mount Carmel and Shihor Libnath. Then it turned toward the east. It went to Beth Dagon. It touched Zebulun and the valley of Ipat El. Then it went north of Beth Emek and Neiel. It passed north to Gabul. Then it went to Abdon, Rehob, Haman, and Kanah. It continued to Greater Sidon. Then the border went back south toward Ramah. It continued to the strong walled city of Tyre. Then it turned and went toward Hosah. It ended at the sea. This was in the area of Akzib, Umah, Aphek, and Rehob. There were 22 towns and their fields. These cities and their fields were part of the land that was given to the tribe of Asher. Each family group in that tribe received some of this land. Land for Naphtali. Joshua chapter 19, verse 32. The sixth part of the land was given to the tribe of Naphtali. Each family group of the Naphtali received some of the land. The border of the land started at the large tree in the area of Zayanim. This is near Haleth. Then it went through Adami, Nekeb, and Jabneel. It continued to the area of Lakam and ended at the Jordan River. Then it went to the west through Aznath Tabor. It stopped at Hukok. It went to the area of Zebulun on the south, and it went to the area of Asher on the west. It went to Judah at the Jordan River on the east. There were some strong walled cities inside these borders. Those cities were Zedum, Zur, Hamath, Rakath, and Kinnereth, Adama, Ramah, Hazor, Kadesh, Edrei, and En Hazor, Iron, Migdal El, Horem, Beth Anath, and Beth Shemeth. There were 19 towns and all their fields. The cities and the towns around them were in the land that was given to the tribe of Naphtali. Each family group in that tribe got some of this land. Land for Dan. Joshua chapter 19, verse 40. The seventh part of the land was given to the tribe of Dan. Each family group of Dan received some of the land. Their land included Zorah, Eshtaol, Shemesh, Shealabim, Ajalon and Ethah, Elon, Timnah, Ekron, Eltikah, Gibbethon, Baalat, Jehud, Beamberach, and Geth Rimmon, Mejarkon, Rakon, and the area near Joppa. But the Danites had trouble taking their land. There were strong enemies there, and the Danites could not easily defeat them. So the Danites went and fought against Leshem. They defeated Leshem and killed the people who lived there. So the Danites lived in the town of Leshem. They changed his name to Dan because he was the father of their tribe. All of these cities and towns were given to the tribe of Dan. Each family group got part of this land. Land for Joshua. Joshua chapter 19, verse 49. So the Israelite leaders finished dividing the land and giving it to the different tribes. After they finished, all the Israelites decided to give Joshua, son of Nun, some land too. This land that had been promised to him. This was the land that had been promised to him. The Lord had commanded that he be given this land. So they gave Joshua the land of Timnath Serah in the mountains of Ephraim. This was the town that Joshua told them he wanted. So he built up the town and lived there. So all of these lands were given to the different tribes of Israel. Eleazar the priest, Joshua son of Nun, and the leaders of each tribe worked together. They divided up the land while they were at Shiloh. They met before the Lord at the entrance to the meeting tent to do this. Now they had finished dividing the land. Joshua chapter 20, cities of safety. Then the Lord said to Joshua, tell the Israelites to choose the special cities of safety. This is what I had Moses command you to do. A person might kill someone accidentally and without meaning to kill him. He may go to a city of safety to hide. There he will be safe from the relative who has the duty of punishing a murderer. This is what he must do. When he runs to one of those cities, he must stop at the entrance gate. He must stand there and tell the leaders of the people what happened. Then they will allow him to enter the city. They will give him a place to live among them. But the one who is chasing him might follow him to that city. If this happens, the leaders of the city must not give him up. They must protect the person who came to them for safety. They must protect him because he killed that person accidentally. He was not angry and did not decide ahead of time to kill the person. He should stay in the city until he has been judged by the court there, and he should stay until the high priest dies. Then he may go back to his own home in the town from which he ran away. So the Israelites chose some cities to be cities of safety. These cities were Kadesh in Galilee in the mountains of Naphtali, Shechem in the mountains of Ephraim, Kiriath Arba, also called Hebron, in the mountains of Judah, Bezer on the east side of the Jordan River near Jericho in the desert in the land of Reuben, Ramoth in Gilead in the land of Gad, and Golan in Bashan in the land of Manasseh. Any Israelite or anyone living among them who killed someone accidentally was included. He was to be allowed to run to one of these cities of safety. Then he could be safe there and would not be killed by the relative who had the duty of punishing a murderer. He would be judged by the court in that city. Turn around and say hi to my big fat zero, and I'll just take a little break, then do a little song, maybe a little dance, and read the last 4 chapters. That sounds good to me. That's what I'm going to do. And here's how I'm going to do it. Let me give y'all some of that. Let me give y'all some of that. See if I got any cats coming. Well, anyway, I'm going to do my 4 chapters after I take a little break. Take a little drink break and let my voice, ha. No, I don't believe what I'm seeing right now because I had already set this up and had this ready. So I must have skipped what I'm looking for. Cheese and crackers. Drink break.
God all in my life. Christ all in my heart. Praise all in my mouth. Don't believe me, just shout. Jesus. Don't believe me, just shout. Don't believe me, just shout. Jesus. Don't believe me, just shout. Don't believe me, just shout. God all in my life. Christ all in my heart. Praise all in my mouth. Don't believe me, just shout. This ain't for them punk Christians. You a real Christian, don't play with it. This here for them cheap Christians that sneak out during tithe and offering. Baptist, Kojic, Pentecostal, and Apostolic. Man, the churches I ain't with it got ATMs all up in it. The Holy Ghost and Jesus. And God the Father, you got the Trinity. I'm strong. Got Jesus. I got the power and he's the witness. Praise God. Get lifted. Don't call for me, don't block a blessing. This one for them Christians who talk about you and pray with you. Gotta love the usher boy who provides you with Kleenex. I'll mess with them lozenges, especially if I'm singing. This the one for them church funds that don't see no progress. Shout out to that pastor who in bathroom straight flexes. Praise the Lord, I'm sweating. Woo! Pay my tithes, I got blessings. Woo! Mama always told me, when you shout, use caution. In God, I trust, I keep counting his blessings. I'm too saved, you know this, I'm front row on Easter. 1 for God, 2 for his son, and 3 for the Spirit. Choir rolls with forces on, you know you need a woman. And this song for them praise teams who only got 4 members. Alto, soprano, second and first tenor. Man, God all in my life. Christ all in my heart. Praise all in my mind. Don't believe it, just shout. 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 God all in my life. Christ all in my heart. Praise all in my mouth. Don't believe it, just shout. Believe it, just fly. Just fly. Do just fly. Oh, just fly. Something about the name of Jesus. He's a great something about the way his name sounds. He's a great He's got so much
When fed home, we know there's nothing like a warm welcome to a place you love.
Yeah, we don't care. No one cares.
Going up, that's how we go out. Going up, going to God's house. Going up, that's how we go out. Going up, going to God's house. Life got me feeling ill. Still got my Jesus. You knew why can I get a raise? Still got my Jesus. My life ain't got no control. Still got my Jesus. After church, I'm going home. Still got my Jesus. God makes the world go round. Still got my Jesus. Even when I'm feeling down. Still got my Jesus. God and His perfect love. Still got my Jesus. If He's out, He's done enough. Still got my Jesus. All I need is Christ. All I need is dollars, Christ. Really on my mind, really on my mind. Things is going up, blessings got up from the sky. Going up, that's how we go out. Going up, going to God's house. Going up, that's how we go out. Going up, that's how we go out. That's how we go out.
Chance will get you there.
That's how we go out. That's how we go out. Tied with the $100 bills. Still got on Jesus and makes the struggle real. Still got on Jesus, cares how Miss Lulu feels. Still got on Jesus, that late queen, she knows the deal. Still got my Jesus, I'm about to fight and I keep it real. Still got my Jesus, in my life he never fails. Still got my Jesus, love and glory will never end. Still got my Jesus, I got the life because he's my friend. Still got my Jesus, all I see is Christ, all I see is dollars, money on my mind, got it praise on my mind. Praises going up, praises got up from the sky. Going up, that's how they go out. Going up, going to God's house. Going up, that's how we go. That's how we go out. That's how we go out. That's how we go out. That's how we go out.
Back to the word, back to reality, back to the ICB. Read, show me how, take the initiative. Joshua chapter 21, towns for the Levites. The heads of the Levite families went to talk to Eleazar the priest. They also talked to Joshua, son of Nun, and to the heads of the families of all the tribes of Israel. This happened at the town of Shiloh in the land of Canaan. The heads of the Levite families said to them, "The Lord commanded Moses that you give us towns where we may live, and he commanded that you give us pastures." So the Israelites obeyed this commandment of the Lord. They gave the Levite people these towns and pastures. The Kohath family groups were part of the tribe of Levi. Some of the Levites in the Kohath family groups were from the family of Aaron the priest. To these Levites were given 13 towns. These towns were in the areas that belonged to Judah, Simeon, and Benjamin. The other family groups of Kohath were given 10 towns. These 10 towns were in the areas of Ephraim, Dan, and West Manasseh. The people from the Gershon groups were given 13 towns. They were in the land that belonged to Issachar, Asher, Naphtali, and the eastern half tribe of Manasseh in Bashan. The family groups of Merari were given 12 towns. These 12 towns were in the area that belonged to Reuben, Gad, and Zebulun. So the Israelites gave the Levites these towns and the pastures around them. They did this they did this to obey the commandment that the Lord had given Moses. These are the names of the towns that came from the lands of Judah and Simeon. The first choice of the towns was given the first choice of towns was given to the Kohath family groups of the Levites. They gave them Kiriath Arba, also called Hebron, and all its pastures. This was in the mountains of Judah. Arba was the father of Anak. But the fields and the small towns around the city of Kiriath and Arba had been given to Caleb, son of Jephunneh. So they gave the city of Hebron to the descendants of Aaron. Hebron was a city of safety. They also gave them these towns: Libnah, Jatir, Eshtomeah, Holon, Debir, Ain, Jutah, and Beth Shemesh. They also gave them all the pastures that were around these towns. There were 9 towns given to these groups. They also gave the people of Aaron cities that belonged to the tribe of Benjamin. These cities were Gibeon, Geba, Anathoth, and Almon. They gave them these 4 towns and all the pastures around them. So these towns were given to the priests. These priests were from the family of Aaron. The total number of towns with the pastures was 13. The other Kohathite family groups of the Levites were given these towns from the tribe of Ephraim. They gave them the city of Shechem from the mountains of Ephraim. Shechem was a city of safety. They also gave them Gezer, Kibzaim, and Beth Horon. There were 4 towns and their pastures. The tribe of Dan gave them Eltekah, Gibbethon, Ajalon, and Gath Rimmon. There were 4 towns and their pastures. The western half tribe of Manasseh gave them Tayanach and Gath Rimmon. They were also given all the pastures around these 2 towns. So this was 10 more towns and all the pastures around the towns. These were given to the rest of the Kohathite family groups. The Gershonite family groups of the Levite tribe were given these towns. The eastern half tribe of Manasseh gave them Golan in Bashan. Golan was a city of safety. Manasseh also gave them Be-Eshterah. All the pastures around these 2 towns were also given to the Gershonites. The tribe of Issachar gave them Kishion, Deberath, Jarmuth, and En-Ganim. Issachar also gave them all the pastures around these 4 towns. The tribe of Asher gave them Mishal, Abdon, Helkath, and Rehob. All the pastures around these 4 towns were given to them. The tribe of Naphtali gave them Kadesh in Galilee. Kadesh was a city of safety. Naphtali also gave them Hamath-dor and Kartan. All the pastures around these 2 towns were also given to the Gershonites. So the Gershonite family groups received 13 towns. They also received all the pastures around these towns. The Merarite family groups, the rest of the Levites, were given these towns. The tribe of Zebulun gave them Jokneam, Kartah, Dimnah, and Nahalal. All the pastures around these 4 towns were also given to the Merarites. The tribe of Reuben gave them Bezer, Jahaz, Kedemoth, and Mephaath. All the pastures around these 4 towns were also given to the Merarites. The tribe of Gad gave them Ramoth in Gilead. Ramoth was a city of safety. They also gave them Mahanaim, Heshbon, and Jezer. Gad also gave them all the pastures around these 4 towns. So the total number of towns given to the Merarite family groups was 12. A total of 48 towns with their pastures were given to the Levites. All these towns were in the land controlled by the Israelites. Each town had pastures around it. So the Lord kept the promise he had made to the Israelites. He gave the people all the land he had promised. The people took the land and lived there. The Lord allowed them to have peace on all sides of their land. This is what he had promised to their people who lived long ago. None of their enemies defeated them. The Lord allowed the Israelites to defeat every enemy. He kept every promise he had made to the Israelites. No promises failed. Each one came true. Joshua chapter 22, 3 tribes go home. Then Joshua called a meeting of all the people from the tribes of Reuben, Gad, and the eastern half tribe of Manasseh. He said to them, "You have obeyed everything Moses told you to do. He was a servant of the Lord. And also, you have obeyed all my commands. All this time, you have supported all the other Israelites. You have been careful to obey all the commands the Lord your God gave you. The Lord your God promised to give the Israelites peace. Now he has kept his promise. Now you may go back to your homes. You may go to the land that Moses, the Lord's servant, gave you. It is the land on the east side of the Jordan River. But continue to obey the teachings Moses gave you. That law is to love the Lord your God and obey his commands. Continue to follow him and serve him the very best you can." Then Joshua said goodbye to them, and they left. They went away to their homes. Moses had given the land of Bashan to the eastern half tribe of Manasseh. Joshua gave land on the west side of the Jordan River to the western half tribe of Manasseh. And he sent them to their homes. He blessed them. He said, "Go back to your homes and your riches. You have many animals, silver, gold, bronze, and iron, and you have many beautiful clothes. Also, you have taken many things from your enemies. You should divide these among yourselves." So the people from the tribes of Reuben, Gad, and the eastern half tribe of Manasseh left the other Israelites. They left Shiloh in Canaan and went back towards Gilead. This was their own land. Moses gave it to them as the Lord had commanded. The people of Reuben, Gad, and the eastern half tribe of Manasseh traveled to Geliloth. This was near the Jordan River in the land of Canaan. There they built a beautiful altar. But the other Israelites still at Shiloh heard about the altar these 3 tribes had built. They heard that the altar was at the border of Canaan at Geliloth. It was near the Jordan River on Israel's side. All the Israelites became very angry at these 3 tribes. They met together and decided to fight them. So the Israelites sent some men to talk to the people of Reuben, Gad, and the eastern half tribe of Manasseh. The leader of these men was Phinehas, son of Eleazar the priest. They also sent one leader of each of the 10 tribes at Shiloh. Each of these men was a leader of his family group of Israelites. So these men went to Gilead. They went to talk to the people of Reuben, Gad, and the eastern half tribe of Manasseh. The men said to them, all the Israelites ask you, why did you turn against the God of Israel? Why did you build an altar for yourselves? You know that this is against God's law. Remember what happened at Peor? We still suffer today because of that sin. Because of it, God caused many of the Israelites to become very sick. And now you are doing the same thing? Are you turning against the Lord? Will you refuse to follow the Lord? If you don't stop what you're doing, the Lord will be angry with everyone in Israel. Your land may not be a good enough place to worship. If not, come over into our land. The Lord's tent is in our land. You may have some of our land and live there, but don't turn against the Lord by building another altar. We already have the altar of the Lord our God. Remember Ashan, son of Zerah? He refused to obey the command about what must be completely destroyed. That one man broke God's law, but all the Israelites were punished. Ashan died because of his sin, but many other people also died. The people from Reuben, Gad, and the eastern half tribe of Manasseh answered them. They said, the Lord is our God. Again, we say that the Lord is our God. God knows why we did this. We want you to know also. You can judge what we did. If you believe we have done something wrong, you may kill us. But if we broke God's law, we ask the Lord himself to punish us. Do you think we built this altar to offer burnt offerings? And did we build it to use for offerings of grain and fellowship? No, we did not build it for that reason. We feared that someday your people would not accept us as part of your nation. Then they might say, you cannot worship the Lord, the God of Israel. God gave you land on the other side of the Jordan River. It separates us from you people of Reuben and Gad. You cannot worship the Lord. So we fear that your children might make our children stop worshiping the Lord. So we decided to build this altar, but we did not plan to use it for burning sacrifices and making offerings. It was really to show our people that we worship the same God as you. This altar is proof to you and us, and it will prove to all our children who will come after us that we worship the Lord. We give our whole burnt offerings, grain, and fellowship offerings to the Lord. This was to keep your children from saying that our children could not worship the Lord. In the future, your children might say that we do not belong to Israel. Then our children could say, look, our fathers who lived before us made an altar. It is exactly like the Lord's altar. We do not use it for sacrifices. This altar shows that we are part of Israel. Truly, we don't want to be against the Lord. We don't want to stop following him. We know the only true altar is the one in front of the holy tent. It belongs to the Lord our God. Phinehas the priest and the 10 leaders heard these things. They listened to the people of Reuben, Gad, and Manasseh, and they were pleased. So Phinehas, son of Eleazar the priest, spoke. He said, Now we know the Lord is with us, and we know you didn't turn against him. We're happy that the Israelites will not be punished by the Lord." Then Phinehas and the leaders went home. They left the people of Reuben and Gad in Gilead, and they went back to Canaan. There they told the Israelites what had happened. There they were also pleased. They were happy and thanked God. And they decided not to fight against the people of Reuben and Gad. They decided not to destroy those lands. And the people of Reuben and Gad gave the altar a name. They called it Proof That We Believe That the Lord is God. Joshua chapter 23, Joshua says goodbye. The Lord gave Israel peace from their enemies around them. He made Israel safe. Many years passed, and Joshua became very old. So he called a meeting of all the elders, heads of families, judges, and officers of the Israelites. He said, I am now very old. You have seen what the Lord has done to our enemies. He did it to help us. The Lord your God fought for you. Remember that your people have been given their land. It's the land between the Jordan River and the Mediterranean Sea in the west. It's the land I promised to give you. But you don't control that land yet. The Lord your God will make the people living there leave. You will enter the land, and the Lord will force them out ahead of you. He has promised you this. Be strong. You must be careful to obey everything the Lord has commanded. Obey everything written in the book of teachings of Moses. Do exactly as it says. There are still some people living among us who are not Israelites. They worship their own gods. Don't become friends with them. Don't serve nor worship their gods. You must continue to follow the Lord your God. You have done this in the past, and you must continue to do it. The Lord has helped you defeat many great and powerful nations. He has forced them to leave ahead of you. No nation has been able to defeat you. With his help, one Israelite could defeat 1,000 enemies. This is because the Lord your God fights for you as he promised to do. So you must be careful to love the Lord your God. Don't turn away from the way of the Lord. Don't become friends with these people who are not part of Israel. Don't marry them. If you do become their friends, the Lord your God will not help you defeat your enemies. So they will become like traps for you. They will cause you pain, like a whip on your back and thorns in your eyes. And none of you will be left in this good land the Lord your God has given you. It's almost time for me to die. You know and fully believe that the Lord has done great things for you. You know that he has not failed in any of his promises. He has kept every promise he has given. Every good promise that the Lord your God made has come true. And in the same way, his other promises will come true. He promised that evil will come to you. He will destroy you from this good land that he gave you. This will happen if you don't keep your agreement with the Lord your God. You will lose this land if you go and serve other gods. You must not worship them. If you do, the Lord will become angry with you. Then none of you will be left in this good land he has given you. Joshua chapter 24, last chapter of the book of Joshua. Then all the tribes of Israel met together at Shechem. Joshua called them all together there. Then he called the elders, heads of families, judges, and officers of Israel. These men stood before God. Then Joshua spoke to all the people. He said, "Here's what the Lord, the God of Israel, says to you. A long time ago, your ancestors lived on the other side of the Euphrates River. I am talking about men like Terah, the father of Abraham and Nahor. They worshiped other gods. But I, the Lord, took your ancestor Abraham out of the land on the other side of the river. I led him through the land of Canaan, and I gave him many children. I gave him his son Isaac, and I gave Isaac 2 sons named Jacob and Esau. I gave the land around the mountains of Edom to Esau, but Jacob and his sons went down to Egypt. Then I sent Moses and Aaron to Egypt. I caused many terrible things to happen to the Egyptians. Then I brought you people out. When I brought your fathers out of Egypt, they came to the Red Sea, and the Egyptians chased them. There were chariots and men on horses. So the people asked me, the Lord, for help, and I caused great trouble to come to the Egyptians. I caused the sea to cover them. You yourselves saw what I did to the army of Egypt. After that, you lived in the desert for a long time. Then I brought you to the land of the Amorites. This was east of the Jordan River. They fought against you, but I gave you power to defeat them. I destroyed them before you. Then you took control of that land. But the king of Moab, Balak, son of Zippor, prepared to fight against the Israelites. The king sent for Balaam, son of Beor, to curse you. But I, the Lord, refused to listen to Balaam. So he asked for good things to happen to you. He blessed you many times. I saved you and brought you out of his power. Then you traveled across the Jordan River and came to Jericho. The people in the city of Jericho fought against you. Also, the Amorites, Perizzites, Canaanites, Hittites, Gerishites, Hivites, and Jebusites fought against you. But I allowed you to defeat them all. While your army traveled forward, I sent hornets ahead of them. These hornets made the people leave before you came. So you took the land without using your swords and bows. It was I, the Lord, who gave you that land. I gave you land where you did not have to work. I gave you cities that you did not have to build. And now you live in that land and in those cities. You eat from vineyards and olive trees, but you did not have to plant them. Then Joshua spoke to the people. He said, "Now you have heard the Lord's words. So you must respect the Lord and serve him fully and sincerely. Throw away the false gods that your people worship." That happened on the other side of the Euphrates River and in Egypt. Now you must serve the Lord. But maybe you don't want to serve the Lord. You must choose for yourselves today. You must decide whom you will serve. You may serve the gods that your people worship when they lived on the other side of the Euphrates River, or you may serve the gods of the Amorites who lived in this land. As for me and my family, we will serve the Lord. Then the people answered, "No, we will never stop following the Lord. We will never serve other gods. We know it was the Lord our God who brought our people out of Egypt. We were slaves in that land, but the Lord did great things for us there. He brought us out. He protected us while we traveled through other lands. Then he helped us defeat the people living in these lands. He helped us defeat the Amorites who lived there. So we will continue to serve the Lord because he is our God." Then Joshua said, "You will not be able to serve the Lord well enough. He is a holy God, and he is a jealous God. If you turn against him and sin, he will not forgive you. If you leave the Lord and serve other gods, he will cause great trouble to come to you. The Lord has been good to you, but if you turn against him, he will destroy you. But the people said to Joshua, "No, we will serve the Lord." Then Joshua said, "Look around at yourselves and the people with you here. Do you all know and agree that you have chosen to serve the Lord? Are you all witnesses to this?" The people answered, "Yes, it's true. We all see that we have chosen to serve the Lord." Then Joshua said, "Now throw away the false gods that you have among you. Love the Lord, the God of Israel, with all your heart." Then the people said to Joshua, "We will serve the Lord our God. We will obey him." On that day, Joshua made an agreement for the people. He made the agreement a law for them to follow. This happened at Shechem. Joshua wrote these things in the book of the teachings of God. Then he found a large stone. He put the stone under the oak tree near the Lord's holy tent. Then Joshua said to all the people, "See this stone? It will help you remember what we did today. It was here when the Lord was speaking to us today. It will help you remember what happened. It will stop you from turning against your God." Joshua dies. Joshua chapter 24, verse 28. Then Joshua told the people to go back to their homes, and everyone went back to his own land. After that, Joshua, son of Nun, died. He was 110 years old, and they buried him in his own land at Timnath Serah. This was in the mountains of Ephraim, north of Mount Gaash. The Israelites had served the Lord during the time Joshua was living. After he died, they continued to serve the Lord. They continued to serve him while their elders were still alive. These were the leaders who had seen what the Lord had done for the Israelites. Joseph comes home. Joshua chapter 24, verse 32. When the Israelites left Egypt, they carried the bones of Joseph with them. They buried them at Shechem in the land Jacob had bought from the sons of Hamor. Hamor was the father of Shechem. Jacob had bought land for 100 pieces of silver. This land belonged to Joseph's children. And Eleazar, son of Aaron, died. He was buried at Gibeah in the mountains of Ephraim. Gibeah had been given to Eleazar's son, Phinehas. And that is the end, full reading of the book of Judges today. Book of Joshua today. I'm sorry, I almost did it again. So tomorrow I shall read the full book of Judges, Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. And then we'll move on the rest of the week. Take care. Take care.